Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. In the previous episode, we clinched our third straight Stanley Cup against the New York Islanders, and man, I could literally go on all day about the postseason that we had. The ups and the downs and the more downs. It just kept going down and somehow we finished out on top. It's one of the most historical runs in the NHL's history, in all of the major sports, in North American wise. Basketball, football, hockey. What else didn't I say? Did I miss one? Wait. NFL, NBA, NHL. Okay, we good. I got it. We good. Out of the four major North American sports, this has never happened, not once. A reverse sweep is something you rarely see. Rarely. I don't think it's ever happened in the NBA. It's happened a handful of times in the NHL. We did that to Colorado. I was ready to say my goodbyes with Colorado, to be like, okay, this is it. Too bad. Pack it up. Figure out what we're going to do in the offseason. We come back and win in 7. I don't know how. I said my goodbyes. I was ready to just get it over with because I know this game. I knew it would just give me that hope we'd get to game like 6 and then they drop the ball. But they didn't. Force a game 7, we walk out of that round. And I'm like, that's one of the best performances or best comebacks I've ever seen, simulating in a franchise mode. I've done it once or twice ever. First time I've done it simulating in this game. And then we head on against LA. LA had a few really strong pieces. Shane Wright, Connor Von Sieg. They had us back up against the wall. And at that point, I'm like, okay, our magic has run out. We don't really have anything going for us. 3 straight losses in that round. I'm like, okay, pack it up again. No way we are going to pull this out of our butts again. And a 7-0 victory. I'm like, okay, would have appreciated that a lot earlier in the series. 5-1 win. It's a pretty solid win. We force a game 6, and if we win game 6, we tie the series. We win game 6. Game 7 goes to overtime, and the captain, Kirill Kaprizov, ends it there. For the first time in NHL history, there are 2 reverse sweeps by one team in a Stanley Cup playoff run, and that's nice. That is very, very nice. To head to the Stanley Cup Finals with 2 reverse sweeps under your belt, yeah, you got a lot of confidence. Of course. But, a Stanley Cup is a Stanley Cup. If you go through all this trouble just to get heartbroken in the Stanley Cup Finals against a team that we had played before in the finals, our first ever finals appearance was against the Islanders. And we swept them. It was a long, grueling off-season, or postseason. Sorry, my brain, I'm recording all of these back to back to back, so sorry if I haven't gotten to your comments. I've just been recording this. I feel like it was an emotional journey that I had to go on. It was a phenomenal postseason performance. And look at that. The Iowa Wild win the Calder Cup as well. A phenomenal year for the state of hockey. That is huge for us. But let's go ahead and check out the stats for those 22 games and see who was important to this team. And there are a lot of guys I can call to and be like, you were the man. But I'm going to give it to one guy. 3 straight years this guy has come to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. 15 goals, 15 assists, good for 30 points. His name is Alexei Petrangelov. Former first overall pick, almost 500 goals, almost 1,000 points, 3 Conn Smythes under his belt already at 28. He's been the man. He is the man. He showed up, and I knew he was going to show up. I knew that. I knew that was a fact that he was going to be important for us to find success. Same with Kirill Kaprizov. He scored the Game 7 winning goal to force a Stanley Cup final, to get us there. For the 3rd straight year, we won a Stanley Cup, and they were huge pieces. Huge pieces. You could have given it to either two of these guys, I thought. 2 game-winning goals from each. I guess Petrangelov just won out in points, and it was his. Better plus-minus. I'm not sure if you should count that or not, but Petrangelov and Kaprizov were the goddamn best Russians. I mean, Petrangelov's technically American, but he's Russian. I love them both. I got to give credit where credit is due. Anthony Francis didn't have the best postseason last year. He's consistent as hell in the regular season. 17 points in 20 games. That's not a bad run to a Stanley Cup. That's fine. But as a 99 overall, you need to be the man all the time. And obviously when you have Kaprizov and Petrangelov in front of you, you're going to not take a point total hit. But Francis was great. I got to give credit where credit is due. He was phenomenal this year. Gogolev. I'm sure a lot of people are against Gogolev staying on the squad. We do have to re-sign him. And my final verdict, I'm putting down the hammer, is that we are going to sign him. He showed up. We gave him a shot to be an important part of this squad. He goes out there, puts up 8 power play points. He was a major part of this team. He's still an RFA, restricted free agent. We still have his rights, but the plan is to bring him on. He has not hit the pinnacle of his play. 3 Stanley Cups under his belt already? If I'm not mistaken. 3 in his young career. He might have even won one right there in his first season. I'm honestly not too sure at this point, but he has won a lot, and he has been a big part of that. He really stepped up to the plate once we traded Jack Eichel. He's been a phenomenal player. Cale Newman quietly having a great phenomenal postseason. I keep throwing that word around, phenomenal. He was great. Lionel Waters, 19 points in 22 games as the 2nd/3rd line center. He showed the hell up. 3 game winners. He was clutch. When we needed him the most, he came up big. Louis Langweeder, 17 points. Quieter, but he really started to turn things around halfway through the Western Conference Finals and into the Stanley Cup Finals. He was really, really good for us. Not a lot of penalty minutes, especially for a big guy like that. That's surprising and a great plus-minus. Chris Griffin also stepped it up there in the finals. Same with Pete Curry. That's huge. Obviously, a Stanley Cup takes a lot from your team, but sometimes you have weaker players. Everybody really stepped it up. I'm assuming even the 4th line stepped it up. Bobilev, Hadfield, they all really who isn't there? Oh, Kolyakovo, I guess. He's not technically. I don't know why they didn't put him on the screen. I'm not sure how that works. I'm assuming he had very similar stats to Hadfield and Bobilev. They were both really good. I'm happy to see that. And defense. Let's talk about the best defenseman in the NHL. One of the best defensemen in NHL history. He's going to win another Norris this year. I think that's 7 or 8 in a row now. Wait, hold on. I can figure it out. So if we go back to, I want to say this 88 points won it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This might be his 9th in a row or 8th. Somewhere around there. He's the man. Had a great postseason, a point per game. That's exactly what I needed to see from him, and he showed up. Same with Brandt Clark. He was really important for us. 21 points in 22 games. He was great as well. I gotta give him more credit. because he's phenomenal. Him, Mironov, Bissonnette, they all showed up. 2 more years left on that deal that he took all the way back off of his ELC. He's going to ask for a lot of money. I'm hoping I can get all those guys back. Him, Mironov, they're important to this team. I hope I can. We're going to make it happen, but that's for another time. Marcus Mironov, 12 points. Great postseason run. Georges Bissonnette, 7 points. That's around what I expect for him in the postseason, especially since his minutes are being diminished because Quinn Hughes, Brandt Clark, and Mironov are that much better than him right now. +7, 4 penalty minutes. That's what I like to see. Harry Parrish didn't even have a bad run. 3 goals, one of them being a game winner. 4 power play, 4 points. +3, 2 penalty minutes. Big. Mats Pearson isn't there for some reason. I'm assuming he had a decent run as well. So let's talk about Cody Tallender. Cody Tallender is the bane of my existence. Because, man, oh man, you can say we won a Stanley Cup. Yeah. It could have been so much easier if he had just played 500, like if he had just played like a 9-10 goalie and like a 250 goals against. That's so much to ask for in the simulation, Owen. He's 89 overall. He should probably be performing better than that. Mackey was horrendous. I don't want to even talk about that. But we won a Stanley Cup. So it's hard to argue about anything. It is. It is hard to argue about anything. I'm excited to see the awards, though. I think we're taking home a few. Our 3rd straight Stanley Cup. That's the first time I've done that in NHL 20, which is a phenomenal feeling, especially the team we had in Columbus when we did that franchise mode. It's surprising. 3 straight Stanley Cups. I don't know how many President's Trophies in a row. Just name it the Minnesota Wild Trophy. 3 straight finals appearances, 3 straight cups. It's huge for us. Individual awards. The Art Ross will go to Matthew Savoie for the 3rd straight year, so Anthony Francis really wants that trophy back, but Matthew Savoie has been great. He also wins the Hart Memorial for his 3rd straight year. But guess what? We won the Stanley Cup, which is sweet. I'd rather win a Stanley Cup than win all the individual awards. Francis has not won his last. He'll win one eventually, I'm sure. James Norris goes to Quinn Hughes, the best defenseman in the NHL. Lady Bing goes to Capo Caco. Good for him. Calder goes to La Rose for Tampa Bay. Conn Smythe goes to Petey for the 3rd straight season. God, that's awesome. Vezina goes to Jaden Weeman. And he wins the William M. Jennings, too. Maybe we go go try to trade for Jaden Weeman again? I'm not sure. Bill Masterton goes to D'Agostini for San Jose. Jack Adams goes to Gorin for Florida. Frank J. Selke goes to Anthony Francis. He takes home an award. That's huge for us. Ted Lindsay goes to Matthew Savoie's 3rd straight season. And the Maurice Richard goes to Zdeněk Corvo. Good for them. We take home, obviously, the Norris, because we're absolute beauties. He's an absolute beauty. But we won the biggest award of all, the Stanley Cup. But the offseason is not going to be like every other offseason. We are in an interesting position this year. A very, very interesting position. Now, we have a few picks on our hands this year. We have Detroit's pick, which can be anywhere. We could win. If we have 2 lottery picks, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say Dallas and Detroit. New York was a playoff team. Chicago was? Yeah, right. So we have 2 potential lottery picks this year. 2. Now, I'm not sure what the draft holds because I've been paying attention really to the Stanley Cup runs. So I would love to luck into the 1st overall pick in Reese Manderville because look at that name. Any players here I would love to bring on. I don't really want the 3rd overall pick, Landon Commodore. It seems like a solid defenseman, but really stacked at that. I would love... this Hobson guy seems like he might be decent. I don't really have a scout there at this very moment, which sucks, but... we don't have our scouts haven't really done a great job this season, so We're hoping luck is on our side and we luck into potentially a top 3 pick, which would help us out very, very well. So we have... Wait, where's that player? The centerman is at... Hold on. The centerman is at 6, 18 years of age. He's from the USA Central. I'm gonna fix that real quick, so we can scout him a little bit before, because I'm not sure. He might be a top 6 player. He might be an elite player. If we can luck out on another centerman, I think that'd be huge for us. So where's assigned scout? I want to make sure we do that real quick. USA West will change him. Oh, I want to make sure. I don't really handle the scouts too much. I want to make sure. I have a feeling if I do end up picking him, he'll be a top 6, so I want to make sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that he is medium elite, because I will not be taking a top 6 player in the top 6. I don't want to waste a top pick on that. And because if we do land in the top 6, and I'm not sure about Hobson, I'll go after any of the other players, but a centerman is going to be very valuable going forward, especially with the, I'm not sure if we totally need any of these guys. Look at how stacked we are. We're relatively fine going forward, but with these picks, we could luck into something really important. So the draft lottery is coming up. Do we luck in to a top 3 pick? Maybe both. You never know. Come on. Come on. What are we going to get? We move from 3rd to 2nd. That is huge. That is huge for us. And we also have the 13th overall pick. Pittsburgh stays at 1st, and Arizona moves from 2nd to 3rd. Moving to 2nd. That is huge for us. Big, big, big. I said I didn't want that 3rd overall pick. That was the defenseman, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was... So I'm glad we have that 2nd overall pick looking like the right winger. I'm not sure if he's a two-way forward, and he's very... Sean Monahan. Interesting, interesting. We could definitely move him to a center. If he's similar to Sean Monahan, offensive creativity, playmaking ability, one-on-one skill, no weaknesses, NHL ready. So if we're looking at our lineup right now, who's the guy that goes? Is it a... We'll be playing one of the... Whatever guy we draft right now is going to be on the roster next year. Is it this Alexander Hudobin? Who looks... Teemu Solani. Oh, that's... Okay. You don't just throw that around. So Hobson is a top 6. Okay, so good to know. Good to know. We have options. We have options. We also have the 13th overall pick, which is looking like nobody that I'm super fond of. Maybe this defenseman. We'll make sure. Yeah, so there's a lot of players there. I'm not sure if I want that 2nd overall projected guy or I'll go for the European. Not super sure. Retired players. Who is calling it quits this year? Johnny Gaudreau with the Ottawa Senators. Calls it a career. 1,200 points. Is that a Hall of Fame career? Yeah, it's a Hall of Fame career. All these guys right here are probably Hall of Famers. Gabriel Landeskog, Sean Couturier, Vladimir Tarasenko, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins are all future Hall of Famers, I would say. In this game especially. Jeff Skinner, we beat him in the Stanley Cup playoffs. 500 career goals. That's probably a Hall of Fame career. Jonathan Drouin. Forsberg. Remember when we signed Forsberg and traded him mid-season for Evgeny Malkin? Those were the days. William Karlsson. Yeah, it's a big year for retirees. This league is getting a little bit... not quieter. I don't think that's a word I want to use. It's just not a lot of familiar faces. But we know all about that in our Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode. We went the full distance, right? We went 25 years, and the league was very much different. Goaltenders, who's calling it a career? Philip Grubauer, Peter Mrazek, Jonas Korpisalo, Jack Campbell, Eric Comrie. Yeah, okay. Interesting retiree year. Do we lose any coaches? We lose an Iowa coach, but other than that, we should be relatively fine. So that's good. Good for us. I'm happy about that. Yeah, draft interviews don't really work anyways, so we're going to head right into the draft. We're going to head right into the draft, see what we can do, see if we can pull any moves. The second overall pick, the first does not want to be moved by Pittsburgh. Okay, 13th, 16th, 24th, and 31st. So keep that in mind. I want to see if there's any relatively strong prospects around those ranges. So my scouts didn't do the best this year. That sniper is looking dangerous. You don't just throw the name Teemu Selanne around and be like, Teemu Selanne. Like, you don't do that. This Albert Schauer guy might be decent. There's a few guys I might just have to take a swing at. Daniel Chelios. It might dip off right there. You see a top 6 player. We might have to just move around something there. Okay, so I'm going to simulate the pick, the first overall pick by the Pittsburgh Penguins, left winger sniper Manderville. Congratulations, looking like an absolute stud. So I'm going to call it 2 timeouts because we have a little bit to deal with. So I don't want to necessarily make this my pick at this very second time. So who are we going with? It's not the defenseman. He's not really on my radar. He might be really good, but he's not on my radar. We're so stacked. Is it Dumont from the QMJHL? Right wingers, right? Well, we might need a replacement for Kaprizov pretty soon because he's 34. He'll be 35 next season. You have Numanen, who might be on the move eventually, especially when it comes to cap, and we want to keep that defensive core open. We have Langweeder. Petrangelov isn't going anywhere. He's so young. Same with Francis. I think Gogolev's fine. Tulipov, I'm not really a huge fan of that. Owen Nolan. This left winger, I'm just feeling some other way with him. Alexander Khudobin. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and look around the league real quick. I don't plan on trading away this pick. I just want to look at my roster, think about this wisely. Oh my god, Gogolev's a low franchise now? Oh, baby. Oh, yeah, we have to sign him. I want to make sure we get... Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to offer him a contract. Sucks. He's going to ask for money. Okay. We have $13 million in cap. There aren't a few big contracts on the move this year or that have to be signed. Is there anybody here that I really want to trade? See, that's just more incentive to keep Gogolev on the roster. Now, Waters, I like him at that contract, 87 overall, right? Chris Griffin might go, right? I mean, he might have to go. Pete Curry, I kind of like him where he is. Olsen, Lamb. We probably going to call up Gauthier this year. Bobby Lev will probably stay. Our roster's pretty much intact. Oh, McKinnon is an 81 overall. Probably going to play this year as well. Yeah, there's a lot of prospects coming into the NHL this year because we also have to worry about Kolyakovo. Harry Parrish has to be re-signed. Yeah, we have to be smart. So we have to pick our future. We have to be smart here. So we have a lot of picks this year. I don't plan on picking with all of them. Maybe the 13th and the 16th, the 24th, and the 31st. I'm going to... Oh. That's not what I meant to do. I'm just going to see if we can potentially get anything here. Because I'm not a huge fan of what lies at those picks. Alex Tuck. Oh, well, I mean, we'll take another first from Detroit. So it's not looking like anything there. So we're going to look around the league, see if there's anything big out there. If we need to make a big move, we'll make a big move. But I want to keep this team relatively intact. It looks like we're moving forward, and we're going to get another huge prospect to add to this roster. But we also have to treat that prospect with a lot of care going forward, right? So, Anaheim, let's start with you. Nothing that I want. What am I specifically looking for, right? Maybe a goaltender? Because Mackey has to be... Yeah, Mackey is probably going to be leaving because he's a UFA this year. So, that'll be fun. Anything out on the block. If there's something just mind-blowing on the block, I will try something. Because we have the assets. I don't want to keep all those first-round picks. I feel like that's just hoarding. I'm not a huge fan of that. Oh, see, it's Alexi. Is that Alexi? Alexi Slychuk. We faced his brother in the finals. Funny. Anything here from the Rangers? Nothing that I'm a fan of. Okay. Ottawa, nothing. Nope. Nope. No. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pittsburgh. Oh, San Jose with Ferrero. 20 years of age. Hello there, Dave. That's a pretty damn good... When was he drafted? 2029? 2 drafts ago, he'll be 21. Huh. I'm going to look at that in a few moments, because that might be a decent center prospect to bring over. He might not crack the NHL next year, but Kolyakovo might be on the go because he's kind of getting a little bit too old. I want to try that San Jose trade. If we can bring on another awesome prospect, I'm going to make sure we can do it. All right, and that's trading in conference. So, right, there's a luxury tax on that. You don't want either of our firsts, but we will give you the 24th and 31st because it doesn't look like there's anything good there. Okay, do you want anything else? Willing to give up stuff. You want Pedersen, but I want to kind of keep him on the roster. We drafted Leeton. Right. Mackey, we can trade you the rights to Mackey, but I really don't feel like that's a bad idea. Sizik is there. Don't think he's going to turn out to be anything special. Is there any prospects that we kind of have to clear up some prospects here? Haydart Wright. Why would we get Ferrero? I don't see a point in that. Maybe we can trade for their first next year. Are they a rebuilder? Contender. What are they looking like? What you looking like, San Jose? You're still looking pretty good. But see, how about we take your first next year? Let's be smart. We'll take your first and second next year. We'll give you... What do you want this year? You want 24th overall pick and... I don't know... Washington, Minnesota, 3rd. Would you do that? Trade rejected. You want what other pick do we have? We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna make the pick. I know there's just been a lot of talking this episode, so we're not me doing, but not a lot of huge moves I can make at this point in time. Right? We have a lot of prospects. I don't want to just add another one, but we're adding one right here. I mean. Do we go with Dumont or do we go with Hudobin, who I'm not sure how good he's going to be? But Dumont's probably a two-way forward because he's similar to Sean Monahan. Gustav Tulipov. I'm feeling something really special with this Alexander Hudobin. I'm going to do it. With the 2nd overall selection in the 2031 NHL entry draft, the Minnesota Wild are proud to select Alexander Hudobin. Welcome to the squad. I could regret this. 80 overall. That's a friggin' awesome player to add to the squad. Now, where does he fall in the lineup? He's probably going to take over for Chris Griffin on that 3rd line, make his way into the top 6 very soon after that. So... Who's next? Tulipov. Not a bad player, but I was looking for a more offensive talent. Dumont. That's a pretty solid guy. Did we make the wrong decision? I'm just... we've always gotten it right with Europeans, so we should be relatively fine there. Our next pick is at 13, 16, 24, and 31. So we're going to sum up to our next pick, see what's there, maybe trade away a few assets. So what have we missed so far? So Dumont, Commodore was 80, but look at our defensive squad. Exactly. Hobson wasn't... Oh, he's a grinder. No, thank you. Keeling, not a bad prospect. Marks, Lee, Dice. Ooh, okay. Okay. Zizka, sorry. Yeah, and after this, I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Do we go out of the range and pick a guy that's supposed to be like Rick Nash? Or do we go with this Kovacs guy who's probably similar to the players around him? I doubt he's a top 9 guy, especially with what overall it is, right? Or this Cedric Ward, maybe son of Cam Ward. Theo Fleury, yeah, you don't mess around with that. He's probably similar to this Albert Schauser guy. Della Rovere? Mark Messier, what? You don't just throw that name around, guys. You don't do that. That's so stupid. You know what? Lorenzo Della Rovere. Let's do it. Let's do it. 65 overall. Debatable. Not a bad pick, but similar to Mark Messier. Dude, you don't just throw that around. Kovacs, yeah, they were all the very similar players. So I'm assuming if we take another pick here, we can just trade away the 24th and 31st for another, for whatever, really. Do we go with this guy that's similar to Theo Fleury? Do we go with, who's the highest rated goalie in the draft? 59. And then you got this Benin guy. Campagna. Okay. I don't want Miller. Do we have any gems scouted this year? We have one bust. Okay. Cool. So I'm going... this Ackerstrom guy might not be too bad. Michael Backlund. I'm gonna stay away from that. This Chelios. How are you, Chelios? Jakub Voracek. That's a... Yeah, but he might be a top 9 guy. I'm gonna go with this. We know what he is, so let's go ahead and pick him. 65 overall. 2 really awesome prospects to add to the cabinet. I'm relatively okay with that. So 24th overall pick. What have we missed since then? They all seem to be very, very similar. 66th overall, Ward, Miller, Ackerstrom, Chelios. Yeah, they're all really solid prospects. Cronwall. Ooh. You might be decent. Kim Cronwall. Might as well. We can trade the 31st if you really feel like it. Ah, I messed up, didn't I? Damn it. Well, that is one of the worst first-round picks I've ever made. You know what? It happens. It happens to the best of us. So I'm going to put my first pick on the block and see what we could potentially get out of that. So is there any team willing to trade their next year's first-round pick that wants ours? 2032 contender. San Jose, okay, we'll take your first next year. We'll give you our first this year. But we will tack on, how about a Dallas 44th overall pick? Would you do that? I know you might, you're giving up a bit, but it's, hey, might be good, might be bad. You never know. But I move that assets next year, and we should be relatively fine. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. So I'm going to trade away Mackey, if we can trade away his rights for whatever. Because I don't feel like we're going to be bringing him back, and I don't want to... If we can get something for him, then we can get something for him, right? 4th and a 4th, 3rd... you know what, the Islanders? I know we just faced you in the finals. We'll take a 3rd from... I'd rather take a 3rd from next year. Timu Mackey. He's going to ask for money this year, and we don't really have a whole lot of money to spare. Take a 3rd from next year. Straight up 3rd. That's all I really want. Trade rejected. Oh, you're going to be like that. So we'll trade a bit. We'll trade. You want our 7th? You want that? Really? You're going to be like that. You're going to, for the 3rd round pick. 4th. You want a 4th? Trade accepted. That was it. Okay. So Mackey's gone. Enjoy New York. You might not even sign there. It's no biggie. I have 2 firsts next year. It's good. We're being smart. So is there any other guys here that I want to trade away? Chris Griffin might gotta go, man. Especially with all the talent we have coming up. And I don't want to trade him. I'm going to do a fine trade if we can get, like, maybe a first for him. If we can swing a first for him, I'll have to do it. Because we have a lot of talent coming up. He might not fit into it. Or we don't trade him now. Or we trade him. We might not ever end up trading him. We might trade him. The times we might trade him is after the re-sign phase or right before the season next year. 2nd, 1st from Buffalo. Okay, 1st from Colorado this year. Their pick is next, actually. Dallas next year. Okay, Hronek, 2nd. Few firsts on the table. Los Angeles this year. No. Okay, Colorado made their pick. They picked Yui. Oh, cool. I love that. That's actually an NHL YouTuber, so that's really cool. What was I doing? I had to use my brain there for like 3 seconds, and now it's gone. Thank you. I have the shortest frickin' attention span. Okay, Chris Griffin. I don't want to necessarily trade away Chris Griffin, but if we find something really awesome for him, then we have to pull that deal. We have to, especially with the cap hit. You know, it might be the best decision. I'd really like to take a pick from a team that might not do especially well. So Buffalo is probably really good. Buffalo's probably pretty good, yeah. McGillney? Is that, was it? Mogilny. Yeah, I was right. I had to sound it out in my head. Dallas is still probably pretty good. I missed the playoffs this year, though. They're technically a contender. What are they looking like? But they have the Carter Hart. Probably relatively fine. It might have just been an off year. Right? They got Carter Hart. Is his contract up? I wish it was up. That'd be sick, right? If we could snag a Carter Hart in free agency. For Chris Griffin, let's be smart. I don't necessarily want to trade him away. Not necessarily. So let's look. Next year, left wingers, we got Petrangelov, Langweeder, Hudobin, and then Hadfield on the 4th line, whoever we want to slot in there, maybe McKinnon, so that's fine. Right wingers, you got Newman, Kaprizov, Curry, Griffin, Ronaldo, Bobelev. Right, it gets really stacked around that area. Centers, you got Francis, Gogolev, Waters, Kolyakovo. So it gets very tight in there. So I think the best time to trade Chris Griffin is later, at a later date. I think, yeah, that might be the best time to do that, is trade him away later. Did we trade away our first? Yeah, we did. I completely forgot. Okay, Sim to the 34th overall pick. Thank you, Owen, for your smartness, whatever English is, right? Okay. Miss anything here? Nope. San Jose picked a bum, just like we did. So it looks like the draft completely drops off right here. So how about this guy's potentially a low elite? Zdeno Chara. You know, it doesn't matter who they're compared to. Oh, we're going with this guy right here. Kale Markstrom, top 4 defenseman. Let's do it. 62 overall. How old was he? 18 at the time. Phenomenal pick right there. 62nd overall pick. So we have 2 second-round draft picks. It looks like we might get a few decent prospects here. Low elite and Tennell. Stromberg, that was the other guy that I was looking at. Wait, not bad. So it looks like it picks up here halfway through the 2nd round. Nice prospects here, and then it drops off here and there. And we could definitely swing another awesome prospect here. Where do we go with the goalie? Oh, I think I want to go. We're going with the goalie. I think we're going to go with the goalie. Not feeling this guy right here. He might be... Nah, I have a feeling he's not going to be great. Let's just go to potential, see if there's anybody on the block there. Or not on the block, but on the draft class. Anybody scouted completely? Not looking like it. Yeah, no. Okay, so let's go with goalies. Let's pick the goalie. Do we pick this guy? Do we pick this guy? Do we pick this guy? I feel like one of these goaltenders is going to be good. I feel like one of these guys is going to be good. 19-year-old, 18-year-old, or the 19-year-old. In the second round, do we have to draft one of these guys, especially when the next guy is at 99 over? Now we don't necessarily have to do that. So, I guess we're just going to throw a Hail Mary right now. When is our next pick? So we got this Dimitrov. We got nothing super special. Nothing that I'm like vibing with right now. Maybe this Sol Kulp. What a name, by the way. Maybe that's what we do. You know what? Let's go with the first projected guy here. It's a test. Let's see. I doubt he's any good. Best I think he could be is low top 6. Yeah, see, Olas. Not the worst, but our next pick is at 74th overall. So what have we missed so far? Yeah, see, it kind of hits a rhythm there where it's a bunch of low potential guys, and then it kind of snags at top 9 guys. Nothing super exciting. So, yeah, nothing. Let's go with the goalie. Let's just get it over with. Pick one of the goalies. Maybe we can get both of them. Oh, what? Oh, there's an 87. What? Okay, let's go with this Casey Campagna guy. Do it. Might even be able to pick both of them. Come on. That's not a bad potential. I'll freaking take it. 93rd overall pick in the 4th round. 3rd round? No. I don't want to trade my 3rd. Thank you. Oh, Kreider. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. So that was... Have we missed anything important? I saw an elite potential somewhere. I think it was a... No, I didn't. Culp. Not awful. Yeah. Left-wing elite player. We have a bunch of those in the franchise anyways. We're going to go with... the other goalie? Let's go with the other goalie. I friggin' want to. Alexander Benin. Let's, come on. Are the hockey gods smiling on us today? They are! 55 overall, medium elite, not defenseman, goaltender. I'll frickin' take it. Hell yeah. 155. We don't have a pick until the 5th round. So 4th round. What have we missed? Defenseman. Oh, I was looking at Lawson. Damn, I feel pretty bad about that. Dang it, I was looking at him. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez, I kind of... whatever, goaltender. At least we got one of the medium elites. It happens. Okay. Damn, I was looking at Lawson, too. I should always go with my gut. Trust the gut. But we'll go with goaltenders. Goaltenders are usually pretty good. That's whatever. It happens to the best of us, right? So, we got this Landon Greentree. What a name. I love that. Okay. Let's go with Greentree. I love that name. What? Come on. I know you're decent. Ah? Oh. That happens. You're gonna swing and miss. I know we just won 3 Stanley Cups in a row. Everything is good. Everything is fine. I'm relatively happy. I'm happy as hell, man. You guys are the best fans. Legit. Awesome. You're the best. Working on new franchise modes. It's going to be great. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. A custom league. Still working on your subscriber-created players. It's going to be a process and a half, but trust me, I spend every waking moment recording and sometimes watching Revenge of the Sith because I felt like doing it the other night. Because why not? We have another goalie. We're going to go with a goalie because I freaking feel like it. You can't stop me. I'm an adult. You can't stop me. Starter. A trainer. Hell yeah, man. Phenomenal picks here. A few really decent goaltenders onto the squad. It's all about the trade value, baby. Mix the other guys. Why did I almost say liability? It opens up assets and doors. It's good for us. trade possibilities. So, with the last pick in the 2031 NHL Draft, the Minnesota Wild are proud to select, I'm not even sure right now who we're going to go with. Maybe we go like this. We pick goaltender. Go with goalie. Go with your gut. Rally. Starter goaltender. Friggin' a lot of goaltenders. We get the second overall pick. Hudobin, welcome to the squad. He's going to be introduced to the squad. Anthony Francis is going to come up to him. They're all going to treat him very well. So the draft is over. We looked at the awards. We now have to get to the re-sign phase, and that is going to be a challenge, especially looking to next year because Marcus Mironov's contract is up. Brant Clark's contract is up. I think Petrangelov's contract is up. It's going to be a rough time for the Wild next year, so we have to be smart with the contracts that we lay on the table, but that is a problem for next episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.